Hello, greetings, and welcome everyone to this news update. I am the Ninjaneer, and the topics for today are as follows. GM is making a hydrogen truck. Okay. Fisker is in real trouble. Aptera press is now a steady stream. Aptera released an official production body video at JEC World 2024. And last but not least, the importance of doing things right. A personal opinion about how long Aptera is taking. Let's get started. GM is on the cusp of producing a hydrogen fuel cell medium-duty truck. The Verge has a good piece of information put out about the entire scenario, so let's go ahead and jump right in here. It says GM is developing a fleet of hydrogen-powered medium-duty trucks for DOE pilot. Specifically, it says we will design, engineer, and develop a fleet of hydrogen fuel cell medium-duty trucks. This is Jacob Lozier, product lead at GM, to demonstrate how the capability and strength of our fuel cells can help real-world fleet customers. He goes further to say, the article goes further to say that hydrogen's energy content by volume is low, which makes storing hydrogen a challenge because it requires high pressures, low temperatures, or chemical processes to be stored compactly. Overcoming this challenge is important for light-duty vehicles because they often have limited sizes and weight capacities. I cannot emphasize to you guys enough how much I wish hydrogen was a good idea. Not only from the perspective of somebody who invested a lot of time in researching and trying to develop a hydrogen fuel cell of my own, but as somebody who wants to see the world transition to an energy efficient, renewable energy type of future. The problem isn't that hydrogen power is not something that is viable because they have the hydrogen fuel cells. Hydrogen fuel cells exist and they are actually pretty darn efficient and pretty darn good. The problem is the storing and the production of the hydrogen. The hydrogen seems to be coming from sources that are either not clean or green, or worse, they are coming from clean sources that are extremely inefficient from an energy usage standpoint. As far as I can understand, and as far as I've researched, that issue hasn't been resolved. A quick Google search, in fact, had me asking all kinds of questions. I specifically searched for the advancements in hydrogen fueling stations because I wanted to kind of narrow down if they'd hammered out all of that craziness that that I was talking about in previous videos when it comes to hydrogen. People ask, apparently, what are the improvements in hydrogen fuel cell technology? And I thought that was a very salient question to ask. While metal hydrides and functionalized carbon-based materials have improved tremendously as hydrogen storage materials over the years, storing gaseous hydrogen in underground salt caverns has also become feasible in many commercial projects. So, as far as advancements go, that is not an advancement. It was an interesting discovery, but you can't just say, oh, we can put hydrogen in large caves. That's not a solution. That is a hope that the hydrogen isn't leached out through standard chemical reactions and the like throughout the course of its storage. It's not a solution, and in fact, it is something that has been known about for many, many years. What is the breakthrough hydrogen technology? Was another interesting question. Water electrolysis is a cutting-edge technology that produces hydrogen through the process of electrolyzing water. I was researching this specific version of hydrogen refinement from 20 years ago. Oh geez. While I'm dating myself, in mid high school to early college, 20 years ago, I was putting together electrolysis machines. In fact, a funny story, there was a time where I was living in an apartment complex and they mistook my hydrogen bubbler for a bomb because of its cylindrical shape of the pieces inside that were acting as the catalyst for the reaction, the electrodes for the reaction. I believe I've told that story before, but it's worth retelling because it was pretty funny to me. Anyway, long story short, I've been researching this for, 20 years ago, I had been researching it for 4 or 5 years. So 25 years, personally, me just knowing about hydrogen electrolysis in general. It is not a new technology by my standards. And by science's standards, it's probably closer to by science's standards, it's probably close to 100 years old or more, just in recorded recent history of hydrogen being a thing to be split apart from water and used. So advancements, I am not seeing or hearing any from these periodicals saying that there are amazing jumps and leaps forward in hydrogen power. This one was the one that struck me the hardest. Will there be more hydrogen fueling stations? H2 USA is focused on advancing hydrogen infrastructure to support more transportation energy options for the US consumer. As of 2023, there are 59 open retail hydrogen stations in the United States. 59. Mind you, the technology has been about. I have been researching or looking into or at least knowledgeable about this topic for 25 years, and there are 59. 59. Additionally, there are 50 stations in various stages of planning or construction, so 100 stations total. After 25 years of people looking into hydrogen as quote-unquote the future, and it's been maybe 10 or 15 years of looking into battery tech before we have many thousands of electric fueling stations for electric vehicles, battery electric vehicles, and the like. I don't see hydrogen right now as anything more than a publicity stunt to keep people hooked on gas, because most of that refining is happening through gasoline. Through oil rather. So if you're taking oil and splitting it up and making it into hydrogen, you're doing more steps. You're using more energy to produce a fuel that is less energy dense by the admission of the guys doing the projects for this stuff. And as admitted in the Verge article about the topic, it's not something that I see as viable right this moment. Now, can hydrogen be a thing? Perhaps. If we make electrolysis more efficient, if we do something about storage of hydrogen and keep it from leaking out of the containers, if we make transport of hydrogen something that is easier to do, if we basically make the infrastructure the same way that we made the infrastructure for gas and oil and things like that, then yes, maybe some years down the line, I would say 20 or 30 at minimum, we can make hydrogen a viable energy source for our personal transportation and the like. But for now, that's not where we are. That's not where we have been, and it's not where we are going at this point. It's not an immediate solution to climate change, and I feel like we should be focusing on more immediate stuff that will help us get out of this CO2 kerfuffle that is global warming. So yeah, really strange decision by GM to take this route. I don't know why they are wasting time and energy on this when they should be focusing full keel on electric vehicles. I don't get it. So, is Fisker in trouble? With headlines like, looks like EV startup Fisker is about to hit a dead end, or Tesla rival Fisker's future is in doubt as the EV car maker warns it may run out of cash this year. Slashes 15% of its workforce. Let's see. All of that stuff kind of makes me think that Fisker is in a world of hurt and a world of trouble. Digging deeper into those articles, you see that they have been hiring lawyers and firing employees in a very sort of classic business / corporate situation where it seems like they may be preparing for bankruptcy and trying to mitigate the damage that that happens as a result. They're trying to mitigate the fallout. So these rumors have been going around for a little while now, almost a week, and Fisker's earnings call did not help that at all. But throughout all of this, Fisker has decided to make a statement. I'm going to read that statement and kind of give my 2 cents as to how good a statement, how quality a statement it was. So kind of bear with me here as we move along. Fisker's official statement was, "As a matter of company policy, Fisker does not comment on market rumors and speculation. However, Fisker often works with outside advisors to help manage his business and assist in developing and executing strategies. Fisker is focused on raising additional capital and engaging in a strategic partnership with a large automaker." By the way, that company I believe is Nissan, according to several sources and what have you. But yeah, partnering with a large automaker. The company is also continuing to pursue its shift to a dealer partnership model in both North America and Europe. The leadership team is laser focused on these efforts. As a statement, it doesn't necessarily go far enough to address the issues that people are perceiving the company to have. The types of lawyers that they are hiring, the method in which they are seeking this partnership, all of these things kind of hint at, along with phrases like laser focus, makes me antsy. I don't know too many companies that use the phrase laser focus and actually have laser focus. It's usually a word that is used, a phrase that is used rather, to kind of throw people off the scent of what is going on. At least in my opinion, throughout the companies that I've heard use these types of terms. Fisker is in a world of hurt. They are in trouble. They are in a position that is not good. That is a fact. They might not have enough money to make it through the year. That is a fact. I hope that Fisker addresses some of the issues that have been prominent recently in their company. I hope that they address some of the quality concerns. I hope that they address the software concerns and the litany of other things that have become mainstream when talking about Fisker. But I personally don't understand how they're going to make it out of this particular situation. Maybe they do, and that is great, because more competition for the auto industry is a good thing. For any industry is a good thing. So I hope they make it, but I don't know how they are going to. So Aptera's coverage has been manifold. Several YouTubers are putting in the work to spread the word of Aptera and get interesting takes on the company. Mike in the Woods put out a video about Aptera being a great winter camper. Kim Java put out a video about touring the facilities and interviewing Aptera's CEO, and yeah, it's just, they've been getting a lot of very consistent media coverage. Even when you look at their let me see what else, the Aptera Owners Club has interviews with Steve Fambro and Chris Anthony, Audra and Chris talk to a group at JEC World. They're getting a lot of really consistent coverage this early part of the year, and that is fantastic. People are talking about them. They are being searched more often. They are really starting to gain some traction, in my opinion, with respect to building up to some sort of amazing climax, which I would assume, or I would hope, is the delivery of their vehicles. They're trying to get capital to begin production. They are putting in the work to make it happen, and the media team is making sure to cover that stuff and make sure that other people are covering that stuff, people putting out videos and things like that. Even news periodicals are starting to put out a lot more consistent stories. 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, 1 month ago, 2 weeks ago, 6 days ago. Like, there's a lot of people that are putting out a lot of information about Aptera more consistently, and I believe that that is a push that they are going to use to essentially make their way to production as soon as they can. They are building up to a big explosion of awesome Apteras driving around and things of that nature. That's what I believe. So yeah, hopefully that is what comes to fruition. Yeah, it's fantastic seeing the coverage ramp up, seeing more content come out. I will leave links to all of the stuff that I'm talking about as usual in the comments, in the description. I will even put some of the links to these articles here that I found interesting in the description below as well. Yeah, just a lot of great media coverage, and I'm loving the energy that is coming out around Aptera. That is very positive, very hopeful, very eager and hungry for Aptera to see the light of day. Aptera also revealed its production body at the JEC World Expo situation. It was a fantastic little snippet of video of close-ups of the inside of the vehicle, the side of the vehicle, the bonding areas for the vehicle. There's a whole bunch of really good pieces of the puzzle that were filled in as a result of this video, and I appreciated it a lot. I picked up a lot of fun details, like the thatching for this is very conducive for glue to stick to. By the way, it is a glue that I believe several other auto companies used. I know the Civic Type R uses an adhesive that is a different color, but I believe a similar compound, if I'm correct, because they showed like a small a portion of this video had a little goop of the glue that they were using kind of sitting there. It might not have been this video, actually, never mind. But I saw a little smooshing out of the glue that they were going to use for the bonding of the Aptera components, and it looked very similar to a glue that I saw in a chop up of the Civic Type R. Yeah, long story short, it is very standard for them to be using adhesives in this manner, and it's bringing me a lot of confidence that they are using a method that is very simple, very cheap, and very effective, and it works. Alright, so this last bit of the video is basically me talking about Aptera and the time it is taking them to get to production. Some people believe that Aptera is taking a long time. Aptera Owners Club also talked about this for a time. There was a video about him, a video he put out, a video that Telosa put out. Basically everybody's mentioned this at some point, and my basic premise for where Aptera is from a timing perspective and all that kind of stuff is that they are doing a bang-up job of working out all the kinks and making sure that everything is pristine and as functional as possible before they actually get to production. The reason why I talked about Fisker earlier on in this video is Fisker is an excellent example of what can go wrong when you are rushing to market. As Talos had mentioned in his video, the only company that has ever put out their vehicle on time, quote unquote, is Fisker. And what they ended up putting out was basically untenable for just about anybody who would have been interested in driving it. There are people out there who have Fiskers that can deal with the experience, it fits their lifestyle, etc. But those people are very few and far between. And because the product was not as well finished as it could have been, they have a lot bigger hurdle to overcome now that they are seeing a loss in demand, a loss in trust. People are gravitating away from their products because they know that if they go with a Fisker product, there's a good possibility that they're going to have issues, not only in the buying experience, but in the ownership experience of the vehicle. Aptera is trying to avoid all of that. They are doing a fantastic job of making sure that all of the stuff that they are putting into their vehicle, all the engineering, all the tech, all the all the body panels and all that kind of stuff, they are making sure that all of that stuff is right the first time. I mentioned this concept in a video previously, but there was a phrase that may or may not have been said by one of the greatest game creators of all time, but a good game is, a delayed game is eventually good, but a rushed game is essentially bad forever. Fisker is squarely in the territory of bad forever unless they do a lot to change what's going on, and a lot of that could have been prevented with taking their time and engineering things right, etc., etc. So the fact that Aptera is taking their time to do it right and to get it out right the first time is immensely confidence inspiring for me personally. But for anybody who's impatient, I know that even as I am confident in the company taking their time and doing it right, I am deeply impatient on a daily basis for them to get their vehicle out to consumers. Take solace in the fact that this vehicle is going to be so groundbreaking, not only because it is a unique design, but because they have so meticulously engineered and thought through all of the components that make the Aptera what it is, that it is going to be a phenomenon from a ownership standpoint as well as an innovation standpoint. They're going to be game changers in ways that we have yet to be able to understand. And yeah, I'm excited for what their prospects are. I'm excited for what they're going to do, and I am excited to see the vehicle, and I'm impatient to see it happen. But I also know that they are doing everything that they can to make sure that their vehicle is right the first time, to not end up like a Fisker, to not end up like a Lordstown, to not end up like any other company that's put out a vehicle that was ill-fated because it was released too early or was not well received. So yeah, all you Apterans out there, yeah, just bring it down. Like, calm. Let the waters be calm. We're gonna get our vehicles. They're gonna happen. I am excited to see where Aptera goes, but I am also excited to see them go in a way that is an upward trajectory instead of a downward one. I want to see them as a Tesla shooting up to the stars instead of a Fisker who is kind of puttering out at this point. So thank you guys for watching this video. I am the Engineer. If you like this video, please do the YouTube-y things. I'll catch you guys next time. All right, we're gonna try a synchronization technique before we get started here. I'm gonna go ahead and move the screen. 1, 2, 3, square. 1, 2, 3, square. 2, 3, triangle. 2, 3. Oh, that was terrible. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There, we'll go with that.